So I wanted to hop on today to talk to you guys about something that I have been going through, something that I went through recently and have been processing over the last couple days. And I wanted to share this story with you in case it helps you process, in case it helps prevent something like this happening to you in the future as well. I was in Nashville last week, and it's a city that I've been to many times. It's a city that I love. I was there celebrating with family, and I was roofied on Friday night, along with one other girl that I was with. We hear a lot about, or I've heard a lot about date rape drugs and roofies and how important it is to be vigilant. And, you know, I'm a person as a performer that has been in a lot of bars. I've been in that scene. I consider myself to be a responsible individual. I consider myself to be fairly savvy. But that night I made a few mistakes that could have led to a situation that would have been much worse than it was. Luckily, I made it home safe. I am safe. I am not a statistic. That weekend alone, after this incident happened, I read in the news that there were at least 3 girls that were found passed out in alleyways in Nashville that had been abused. And so luckily for me, I made it home safely that night, and, you know, have really just had to process all the emotions afterwards of what happened and the choices that I made that may have contributed to my violation. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how it felt being roofied and how quickly it happened, and, you know, how it's felt even, you know, in the week after being roofied. After doing my research, I'm fairly certain that I was roofied with ketamine, which is used as an anesthesia for animals, and I think for people in some countries. The side effects of ketamine are it knocks you out, it gives you amnesia, and it works extremely quickly. And so there is a period of time that night that I just have no recollection of, and it happened very quickly. There was really no warning. It wasn't like I felt any kind of weird sensation coming on. Ketamines can also make individuals extremely angry and extremely aggressive. And I definitely had this experience. I don't remember a lot of it, but, you know, my family that was with me and my family that I talked to on the phone that night that I don't have any recollection of said that I was saying pretty horrible things. I was angry. My friends and family that were trying to get me home, I was very belligerent towards them, which is out of character for me. Even when I've been drinking, I'm typically a pretty happy drunk, a pretty go with the flow type of a person. I woke up the next morning and I felt like I had a complete body high. My mind was foggy. It honestly, looking back, felt like I was coming out of surgery, which makes sense now. But it was very terrifying because it's a disorienting feeling. You literally have amnesia. You don't remember like what happened after a certain point in the night. And I scared myself, and I scared a lot of people, a lot of my friends and family that I was with. And so in the aftermath, like dealing with the fact that this has happened, you know, I've had so many emotions. Like, I've had a lot of guilt for what I put, you know, the people that were with me through. I've had a lot of embarrassment because I knew better. Like, I have no recollection of drinking out of anything other than a shot that I was handed directly from a bartender. I feel really dumb, and I feel violated because I was violated. And then I've just felt really scared because it's hard not to think about all the terrible things that could have happened that would have been much worse than what happened to me. And I think when hard times happen and you go through bad things, you ask yourself, why? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to my friends and family? You know, what did I do wrong? How did I contribute to this? And there's a few takeaways that I have. I think the world is changing right now. And number one, we all need to be much more vigilant, much more careful. I thought that I was a vigilant person. I guess it's time to up that game. I'm also a very trusting person, and I don't want to lose the ability to trust people, but I think it's very important to understand the environment you're in and gauge your trust and gauge your vigilance on where you are and who you're with. And my last takeaway is really on mistakes. And I know that I made some mistakes that contributed to the situation that I was in. I'm not saying that I deserved to be roofied. I definitely did not deserve to be roofied. Nobody does. But I could have made some different choices that may have ended up in a different result. And for me, as a person that is very self-reflective, that's been the hardest thing for me to really reconcile with through this entire event. And luckily, I have a lot of really awesome people that I can call and rely on to help me work through these types of traumas. And the best advice that I got was, Leah, you're so graceful and you're so forgiving of everybody else in your life that has made mistakes. Why can't you be that graceful and forgiving with yourself? And so I'm working on that. And for anybody else who is out there who has felt like they've made a mistake, I want you to do the same thing and just think about, how would you treat yourself if you were a loved friend or a loved family member? I don't think you'd judge yourself. I think that you would give yourself a big hug, and I think that you would show yourself a lot more grace and a lot more kindness, and just make sure that moving forward, you take whatever lesson away, and that you give yourself the space to heal and to move on. Please stay vigilant. Please stay safe. I'm sending you guys all the love and all the healing vibes if you need those.